Hey everyone, welcome to our No Name podcast. We are still on the hunt for a name, so if you have any ideas, let us know. So me and Nick, we started this podcast to bring on guests or even chat ourselves on SEO topics that are trending and tips and that sort of thing. And today we're super happy to have Antonis with us. Antonis, would you like to do a quick intro?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you guys for having me. I think this will be a kick-ass podcast because I know both of you have huge amounts of cool SEO knowledge. So, well, some quick, things about me. For the last 3 years and a half, let's say, I'm deep into SaaS SEO. I'm into the SEO industry for like 6 years, let's say, and I have worked mostly with B2B and SaaS companies. I have led some big SEO, let's say, programs for multi-million-dollar SaaS companies, and some well-known ones like we helped SaaS like Musend, like Toggle, in sense with Minutia, the agency I used to work at. So yeah, my experience is mostly SaaS and B2B.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you, Antonis, for that. I really wanted to jump in. Like people that actually follow me on LinkedIn, they know I really struggle lately from the whole mess with LLMs and the Geo or whatever to find very good creators in the SEO community that actually share like very valuable insights. So I know that we connected way back ago, but like I really enjoy in your posts regarding especially B2B and how B2B companies can position on LLMs. And usually I always check what you posted for that week because I feel I always can learn something new. So I'm very glad that you joined here today with us, and I'm sure that listeners will have the option to learn a lot from today's conversation.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much. It's an honor.
So, thank you. And also, Sara, we can officially start with that. For today's topic, we wanted to actually keep building up on the conversation we had last time. So we want to discuss about AI mode, and we for sure want to hear opinion from Antonis regarding B2B and SaaS companies. What is the tactics that you are applying to increase visibility in LLMs and similar stuff to that. So, Sara, you can maybe add something more on this, and then we can give the podium to Antonis.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a hot topic. Everyone is talking about AI mode. Everyone is freaking out about AI mode. I think the most important thing for me right now is how do you communicate these changes with your clients or in-house or whatever you're working? Because not everyone understands, like, SEO. You're the SEO, you're the source of truth for them. So how do you communicate and, sort of help them not panic if yeah. Antonius,
Yeah,
that question.
that's
I'm sorry,
yeah. I
I
was I
started.
was thinking. No, I was thinking on my head.
Oh, sorry, I
Uh,
thought it did not come off like a question. I'm like, okay.
no, it's fine. It was a question for sure. Yeah, that's a huge point, and that was something that I mean, clients and CMOs they always come up with questions. I think two key things here is first you have to communicate the reality to them. So I personally like to show statistics and relevant studies regarding how AI search is shaping search in general, specific percentages like users, how many users are using, for example, ChatGPT to search compared to, let's say, traditional search engines. And that's the first thing. The second one is I would say it's important to also communicate where should we, focus on because there's too much information outside and, companies, founders, chief marketing officers, they always try to come up with to understand the industry. So you have to also like explain to them what will move the needle and what won't move the needle. So to better, clear clear their heads. That's what I would do, at least.
But sometimes they come in and they're like, hey, we want to like, what should we do to optimize for, AI mode or AI over, like all of these things, right? ChatGPT, what should we do? Like, because for me, when like, if I get in that situation, I would say it really depends on the business. And a lot of like ChatGPT is still early on. It's not like a huge source of traffic or anything. I'm not sure if it's worth it spending a lot of time thinking about how to like I would like to spend a lot of time understanding how it works, right? For the future, but I don't think there is something specific we can do right now. I mean, there are, understanding query fan out, obviously all these things help, but giving it a big chunk of attention, reporting maybe, but like, what are your thoughts? Like, if someone comes to you and says, "Hey, I want to appear on ChatGPT," and they're really, would you say it's important, not important? Like, how would you make those decisions, right?
I made the post some days ago, maybe weeks, I don't remember. I basically think that when it comes to AI search, SEO has to be like LLM agnostic. Like, I'm not a big fan of optimizing, let's say, for Perplexity or ChatGPT or AI overviews. I think it's basically a set of best practices, and then you kind of follow this best practice, and you will get the mention in the citation if those are executed the right way. So I would say that I would communicate to them like, we don't have to, chase specific LLM. We just have to focus on those set of practices, and I think we will do well.
I agree actually with that. I wanted to jump in there. I also like posting there, and I'm pretty vocal about that. Like exactly what Sarah said and what you confirmed. I'm not sure that like any company right now should like only focus on LLM visibility, because it's still like so small fraction, and like exactly what you said. I really think that we in the industry as experts, we should like add, let's say, LLM visibility optimization in our like set of services, and like actually think about that. Okay, let's optimize for LLMs too. But I'm not like also fan of the idea, let's just focus on LLMs, because like for me personally, it's still like, okay, you have the desert, and then you have like one piece of sand, and like why you want to spend resources on the piece of sand, because like desert is still so much bigger. But in the same time, I agree with you that like people should acknowledge LLM visibility, and people should like follow the best practices there. So regarding that, I had question. I know that because I following you on LinkedIn, but I wanted to ask you regarding those best practices. What you would say are like the best practices that like company should do to increase visibility in LLMs, because we see a lot of information. Some information is pretty similar to SEO, but and basically, do you find some different practices from SEO that you should apply for LLM visibility?
I would say
Oh, the
that
GEO question, Nick. Oh my God.
the geo versus SEO question, the $1 million question. To be honest, I think that, like, for the most part, I would say 90%, it's all about good SEO. There are some differences that we can focus on, and I will explain those specific differences right now.
Hey, this is for Geo. I'm just joking. I have an emergency. They call it emergency pom-poms. I have them, so yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, the pom-poms were cool. So what I would say at first, it's like we have to basically have to understand that it has to do with using an LLM to get information without web search and with web search. When it comes to without web search, you are basically bound to the corpus, to the training corpus. So you have to kind of understand how your brand is positioned in the pre-training data. When it comes to RAG and web search, you basically have to rank on the search for the synthetic queries that they're finding out after search. So this is why I believe it's basically two components. The first one is creating touch points, like your blog post, your website's pages, about us, social media, offsite content, anything to to create touch points for the pre-training data to get into the pre-training data. And then you just have to rank for queries or query variations to also get into the RAG information, which are the SERPs. And then I think if you do this like very simplistic, you will also do well. There are some other things like matching like product traits of what the LLM thinks they are relevant. For example, if I ask what is the best email marketing software for agencies, and my email marketing SaaS doesn't have a white labeling feature or a reporting feature, the LLM might see that I don't have this feature, and it might, let's say, reason that I'm not the best for an agency. But if a SaaS, an email marketing SaaS, has a white label feature, the LLM will see the white label feature, and it will basically match you to the user, to the agency user, something like that. And that's basically what the other 10%, which I consider, based on AI search. The rest are just, incredible SEO, which I know many of us do. Anyways.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much for this. Because of that, like as I said, I was finding that you're like amazing guest for the podcast, because like you explained that, and I think a lot of people are actually struggling even from our professional side to understand like which practices they should like apply for LLMs, and which other practices they should keep doing. So that was amazing. I also agree with that. Like I think that like very good SEO is still playing 90% of everything. And those things that you said, it's pretty cool, because like a lot of businesses and business owners, or like CMOs, whatever, they can think right now, okay, like if we want to unlock new markets, or like if we want to be present for specific query, then we need to like basically reverse engineer what we have on the website. And then, like as you said, like if you don't have a specific feature, if you don't have a specific product overview, we should like push for that. Also, good thing that you said, like I really think like all of like the other factors, as you said, like be present. Like I see a lot of those. Be present on socials, be present on forums, be present on listicles, have amazing reviews. Do you think that those practices were like, for me personally, I applied in my agency that like over the years, but I feel that like I feel that I'm not sure, like, do you think that those practices are SEO practices? Because I know when we say social, it's kind of like different digital marketing channel, but I always practiced multi-channel marketing, and I really think that a lot of companies in the past are like anyway present on Clutch, G2, for example, for reviews, on Reddit, on socials. For me, that was like everything that we did before. So do you think that's something new, or you think that that was like something that we just like added to geo or LLM optimization?
Well, theoretically, even search engines were checking concurrencies on other channels, like they will check the concurrencies and to disambiguate the entity and understand it better on, let's say, other channels like Reddit. So theoretically, it's not new. I mean, you would get a benefit. I don't know what you guys think, but I think you would still get a benefit in the pre-AI search, let's say, era. But right now, I think it's more tangible because you actually see that is used. Like, for example, if you do a deep research on ChatGPT, it will search, there's high probability it will search Reddit. You've probably seen it. I've checked it a lot, and it checks Reddit a lot, which means that it will run search operators and it will get results from Reddit, and then it will parse those results and synthesize info, which means this is now more tangible. You actually see the LLM doing it. And I also posted like a month ago, 2 months, I don't remember. I was doing some research on Perplexity, and Perplexity was running site search operators for Reddit as well to get info from there. So this is now more tangible. So I believe that when it comes to AI search, now it's like you can actually see this performed. And regarding SEO, well, I think it's part of SEO because it has to do with the search. It's not like the user is doing the search and AI is doing the search, but it's still someone's searching somewhere to get info. I don't know, what's your take, guys, on that?
Yeah.
Okay, I have something to say.
Mhm.
So before LLM's era, okay, you can say like no matter how much effort you put into convincing SEO that they need to do optimizations on other platforms, it was not part of their standard offering. So I have not met an SEO who would, before LLMs, who would say, hey, let's look at Reddit, hey, let's look at YouTube, hey, let's look at your socials, all of these things. And actually, when I used to dig into these things, it was like, why is she auditing the YouTube channel? Why is she like, it wasn't part of our usual offering. SEO is very focused on Google search, the 10 blue links, right? Um, there were things also that you would have done in the past that sounded weird. Now they're normal, like, hey, unlinked brand mentions. I remember very clearly in 2021, I had a client, I was an agency and I had a client and they had an Instagram account. And I was like, okay, how about we put, Google can actually crawl, obviously, and index the posts. So how about we put links in the posts, even if they're not clickable, Google can still see them, and they can still pass value. And that was like removed from the recommendations because that's not something that was acceptable back then. So post LLMs, we also keep telling SEOs, hey, now you need to optimize for Reddit because there are AI, platforms. Now you need to look at YouTube because Perplexity, for example, and even AI overviews are pulling so much from YouTube. It's one of the top platforms they're pulling from. And I still see a lot of people talk about, yes, we should, but I don't see it in actuality being implemented. I think, and that's part of why the term SEO is limiting. Again, I'm not changing this to the debate, like slowly to the debate of GEO versus SEO, but if SEO for people for some reason is focused on the 10 blue links now, maybe AI overviews and AI mode, right? But I just feel we need to push more, and we need to have like more, like for me, for example, I have one of the things that I use so many times, even in an agency in the past, I have a script where I take the client's YouTube channel and I pull all the videos, all the titles, all the information of each video, and then you start optimizing what's the tagging there, what or should be, what the title should be, and so on in bulk. I think this should be a pretty much standard practice if your client has a channel, which it's not something. It's called YouTube optimization, right? Even though it's
Mhm.
still big part of or very related to what we do, right? So these are my 2 cents, yeah, on that
Yeah,
topic.
absolutely. I can like finish. I can finish this round with that. I actually agree with both of you. I really think that from my perspective, like as Antonis said, and Sarah, you actually confirmed that like also in my practice that if we wanted to push more channels before, it wasn't tangible enough. So it wasn't like something that we can like um, let's say we can explain and we can suggest that, but it was like some idea in the air because like, hey, maybe it's gonna work. But right now with LLMs, as Anthony said, we really know it's working. We really know that LLMs are going over Reddit, going over YouTube, going over like all of those other channels. And I really think that that was like basically my question. Like, so you answered on that. I really think that all of those practices were there even pre-LLM era, and all of those practices we didn't have maybe opportunity to push in the way that we can do right now, because right now they're actually mattering for overall ranking. So I think we are on the same page there. Antonis, like another question that I want to push here, and Sara was like polite enough to to tell me that not going into SEO versus geo debate, it's
I
not.
look, I'm trying to avoid like
Yeah, it's not gonna be like on our menu today. But my question is like, regarding black hat, maybe I'm not sure like how experienced you were like even before pre-LLM era with black hat and manipulation on geo. So because of that, we want to focus up on LLM optimization mostly today. So I saw the post 3 days ago, and I need to admit that I tested with my own agency website. So what we did, we used a very easy technique where we built few listicles, and we put, for example, our agency on the first place, and clearly we want to share this knowledge with our listeners. So I'm going to be open. We use the Medium, we use the LinkedIn to publish the post. We used our own website, and we built two more listicles on another agency websites. And basically, the results were phenomenal. Even right now, I'm gonna probably share that like on my LinkedIn. We can check that we are showing in GPT and stuff like that with that one listicle. So my question is like I saw the post where they say that LLMs are actually using quantity measurement over quality. So I'm very worried because like if that is the true, I'm not gonna tell that's the true, but if that is the true, then like we can go in black hat era where we should spam signals, as you said, on other channels, and just because we are more present, we're gonna be recommended more. So what's your take? Do you think that LLMs value more quantity over quality, and do you even think that LLMs can spot the differences in quality levels? Because like sometimes I'm getting very weird recommendations, and I'm not even sure that they are true and that they are really best for my
This is like a
question.
very good question. I want to answer it after Antonis.
For sure, for sure. Antonis, you can go
Yeah.
first.
Well, to be honest, it has to do like, are we talking about, just writing without web search or with web search? Because it kind of, I think this is a very big difference right now when it comes to being mentioned in an AI output. Because I believe that, yes, the more touch points you have, the better the LLM can, be sure of something and disambiguate you. And I also, correct me if I'm wrong, I also think that OpenAI is parsing link graph data to kind of have like
Yes.
a trust consensus regarding the website. So I think AI companies are trying to kind of create like, a threshold of quality to kind of fight those spammy techniques. It's still early. Of course, when Google first came out, it was super easy to kind of manipulate the algos. And you can just run with keyword stuffing, I guess. But yeah, I think it's kind of early. And it has to do also with, I would say, the query in the industry. There are many factors in place, but I would say it has to be both, because I believe that even if you get parsed by the AI bot, if you don't kind of satisfy what the user will prompt, they might not kind of recommend you for more generic, like, queries, like, for example, what is the best SEO agency in US, let's say, for example. It might be easier to just, appear with just creating different touch points. But for more specific prompts, like what is the best SEO agency for e-commerce in this area that handles this budget, etc., you have to be specific, for the LLM to spot the specific attributes and kind of mention. So I would say quality and specificness, if there's such word, are still important to get mentioned. But
Absolutely.
it's still early. It's still early. I think we might see some corrections.
For sure, that was amazing answer. I also think that you answered that very good. And I will give Sara the mic right now, and then I want to add with to finish actually this question with my own opinion on that. So Sara, please go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think LLMs are ready for the amount of spam that's coming their way and is coming their way, right? They're very easy to manipulate compared to Google. Google has, a long history of, fighting spam updates and so on. The thing is, I feel what they're doing right now, what they have this like button when you have they show an output like for you to give feedback, right? Or they have also sometimes they show you two different results. They're trying to get user like behavior or user feedback to improve the results, right? Um, Google has been relying on user behavior data, but then in the recent documents released from the Department of Justice, the lawsuit, Google said, hey, by the way, most of our quality signals come from the page and not from the users. So I'm not sure which what instance to like you believe, Google says things and then Google says other things and they can I don't know. I just was very surprised to read this. So my that in a way there is things that can be done by or Google is actually doing to fight spam, and it's apparently that's the best we have right now. I'm not saying it's perfect. And then you have LLMs who are totally, have no idea what they're doing in that area. And another layer of problem is LLMs change their output every time. It's not deterministic, it's changing, right? And that means they have more complexity in verifying their credibility or the correctness of their answers, because it's not a specific system or a specific answer. It's every time it's just changing. You're trying to ground it and all that sort of thing. And then I'm sorry, I one last thing. I'm sorry. And then it's also in its design, fundamentally, it's also it hallucinates. There is, and I've just read somewhere now, like it's always gonna hallucinate. It's the system. This is how it like it's a probabilistic system. So you have all of these things going on ChatGPT and LLMs, and then Google starts to sound more reliable in a way, I guess.
I completely agree with both of you. I just wanted to add my two cents on both of those perspectives. First, what Antonis explained, I really think it depending on the query that like should be satisfied by LLMs. So if it's more general query, I really think it's very easy to get mentioned. I really think it's very easy. Like I think even like more easier than like it was like in the early stages of Google, because like for that you just need to send like few signals here and there, and if you already know by reverse engineering how like LLMs or like which sources LLMs use for those general queries, it will satisfy the need better. But like for more and that's really good, because I was thinking while I was listening to you, like I'm using GPT, for example, I'm using for more specific queries. So I'm really like, it's very good that Antonis mentioned that like more specific queries, for that you should have better quality of content, for example, stuff like that, because you need to have those, queries mentioned or optimized for those to be even like, used as a source. But also, Sarah, what you said, I really think that like, the design system of the LLMs is like that they will hallucinate a lot, and also they are changing the output, each time. But yeah, I really hope that, and I'm pretty sure that we are in the early stages, because I would love to see more complexity even for more general queries. Why? Because like in that way we can talk about optimization for LLM that is not pure spam, because I really think that LLMs can provide for the users better user experience. We don't need to go over 10 links, we don't need to go over 10 different of the 10 different but same articles and thousands of words. So I really think if the system can like satisfy the more general queries in a way, okay, all right, this is the quality, but it is not like manipulated by the quantity of mentions query. That's gonna be like something revolutionary. For now, I still feel that we are like in the phase where LLMs can be impacted very, very easy. So yeah, with that, I would finish this question for sure. Also, I have like for Antonis one practical question, because like we are here, as consultants, or again, SEO experts, stuff like that. So if client from B2B needs to come back to your area, if clients from B2B SaaS niche come to you and then like they say, hey, I have, for example, 5K per month to invest in everything that you advise to me, how would you structure? I know it's pretty general question, because like we need to do the audit and detect the spots, whatever. So let's skip that part. How you would like structure that budget in terms of regular SEO, in terms of different factors for LLMs and stuff like that? Do you have any idea? For example, we can play with this question, but do you have any idea what to say to the client that comes to you and say, hey, I have 5K per month, let's make me the wonders?
Okay. Well, it has to also, I mean, it depends on the website. What's the brand? What's the website? If they, if they already invest in SEO, if they have some assets, like they have a content inventory already, but let's say they don't. Well, something I like to do is I go to, I go after standard SEO practices, like we're going to start from bottom of the funnel, build foundational links, make sure our EAT elements like about us page, all these pages are well structured and basically exist. Some basic technical SEO, like we have the robot setup, sitemap setup, canonical setup, the basic stuff. And then I would start from the bottom of the funnel, moving up to the more middle and top of the funnel to boost authority to the money makers, which are the bottom of the funnel pages. But at the same time, I like to also, what I like to do is recommend repurposing opportunities to other channels. Like we have this content asset, how we can repurpose it, like to Reddit, to personal, let's say social media accounts, to Medium. If we can, if they have the budget and the resources to also repurpose this to video, which is also great because many searches are also, they have video results as well. So it has to do with what are the resources and beyond those 5K, let's say, that what they're willing to do. And regarding what Sara said, that yes, before the AI search era, those things were important, like, YouTube, social, all this stuff. But I think companies, even now that they see the value, they are reluctant because they don't know how to actually, they have hard time getting a buy-in, and they are reluctant of like how they can, execute those. Because I have discussed with people in SaaS, and they were like, okay, we want to do Reddit, but how? Like how we can do it? Like we just post comments, like they don't know how, because most of the time SEO was about keyword research, content briefs, content writing, and link building, and that was it. So most of the people who handle SEO, like CMOs, heads of growth, all those people are they are reluctant because they don't know what to do. So yeah, I would say for the 5K, bottom of the funnel, some topic clusters, for sure, content repurposing, and why not some backlinks to boost the rankings further.
Yeah, amazing. I really enjoying that breakdown. Sara, I'm not sure if you want to. Yeah, you have a question. Okay.
Okay. I want to ask Antonis and Nick as well. What are your thoughts on AI mode? Did you use it? Did you play around with it? I will share just briefly what I did. So obviously, every time I search, most of the time now we see AI overviews. It's very rare for me to feel I still need to go to AI mode. Even if I feel I need to follow up like with another query, most of the time I just go to the search bar and type again. I've been on AI mode a few times, but what is for me, I mean, if I'm looking for a short answer, AI overviews is there. If I'm looking for a long answer, I will rather click on a link because I want to get something that's verified or accurate. So I I'm not seeing maybe it's just me or maybe it's my SEO, I don't like it because it's just it's an SEO thing. But what are your thoughts, Antonis? And then obviously I want to hear Nick as well.
That's a good point because I had the same thought, Sarah, to be honest. When AI mode, like they announced AI mode, I was like, but we have AI overviews. What would be the difference? So I was thinking that maybe AI mode would be something like closer to like an LLM that could also code, that they could also generate things, but it was not. I've used it sometimes. It's very random. I mean, for the same query, it can generate like 10 synthetic queries, and then I rewrite the same query that can generate like 20, which is like a big margin. It's very random. I don't know. It didn't feel right to me. So to be honest, I haven't used it a lot apart from doing some tests. So yeah, I agree with you. Like I also feel confused, like how people will kind of see the difference between this and AI overviews, because I also like click on a link if I need to expand of my information. And to be honest, most of the times I go to ChatGPT. If I want to do like a deep research, I go to ChatGPT. And if I want to verify this, these things or check more opinionated or expanded information, I go to just a blue link on Google. So yeah, I strongly agree with you. I'm also kind of confused how this will be translated to user adoption.
By the way, there was a study and only 2% of users chose to click on AI mode unless they were asked to. Like if you didn't ask them, only 2%
Yeah,
clicked on it.
interesting.
So, but that's early to like it's obviously early
Mm.
numbers. Go ahead and Nick, sorry, your turn.
Yeah, thank you. I cannot say anything, or like I cannot add any value in my answer that you already like that you didn't already covered. So I completely agree with both of you. Like first and foremost, I really think that value of AI mode is drastically down because it cannot like satisfy other needs, as Anthony said, as like GPT for example for coding or like briefing or other stuff that can actually be on the more deep level. So I use that. I was like trying to break the secrets as always, but I cannot say that I was like satisfied enough. I really think that it was like the best description for it. It is pretty random, as Anthony said, and I really don't see the difference between AI overview and AI mode. I really think that AI overview doing like better than AI mode. Why? Because AI overview is actually what users need. It's like brief, short explanation of the first few results. So it is like the fastest way, the faster way to search. So AI mode for me doesn't like provide that still. I really think, and that when they like actually push it as default, that's gonna like we're gonna see like the real impact of it. But I cannot even imagine that like what's gonna be the look of the SERP. You will have AI mod, then you will have AI overview somewhere there, or maybe inside of it, and then you will have standard links. So for me,
This
I
one,
hope,
go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, for me, I hope that they will listen at least and then give us the option that AI mode is standalone mode in the SERP, and that they keep like the traditional SERP with AI overview. For me, that makes more sense to give opportunity to users to actually choose. But I know that they will need to chase over for GPT and stuff like that. So I'm not sure, or maybe we can like experience something of the Gemini, implemented in AI mode. And maybe if they implement the whole Gemini capabilities into the AI mode, that's going to be something different for the users.
Okay, is it just me or did anyone else notice that there is less and less featured snippets in search and now we have AI mode only a lot of the times? Is it just me, or I
Yeah, I've
guess
seen
Yeah.
it as well. I've seen it as well.
right? Now, so actually, obviously, it was a phase where they have it a lot together, and maybe they're phasing it out. And then, okay, that's one thing. I think the problem with AI mode or with Google, what is Google optimizing for? Is it optimizing for users to use the platform more, or is it optimizing for what the user want and which user? Because Google is so huge, it has so many, like if they would uh create user personas, they would have hundreds, if not thousands of user personas. You have I don't know, SEOs, you have a general marketer, you have a normal user, you have so many things, right? So what are they optimizing for, and who needs AI mode, right? Like, I don't feel it's even on the same level as Perplexity, for example. I just don't see it. Maybe I'm wrong, but and and in a way, this is good news that it's not ready yet. So we're not going, full. They're not pushing it as the default. And I've heard also accounts that this is not the plan altogether, but we don't know. I don't think it's ready, and I don't think they didn't even monetize it. So we're not there yet. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Like, I really think that, again, like, regarding users personas, I really think that they need to fix, like, they need to solve actually monetization first. They will for sure not push anything that they cannot monetize. So that's like, the job for them. And regarding users, I really think like that. I'm not even sure, but like again, if Gemini actually was like AI mode, then we can like talk about like more capabilities and more competition with GPT and similar. But in this current state, Sarah, everything that you said there, it's completely like the same thought
One
on
last
my
thing
end.
before we wrap
Yeah,
up. Okay, so
just to give Antonis if he
uh,
wanted to add.
yep, go
Yeah,
ahead.
sorry.
Sorry, Antonis.
No, no, no,
From the guest. We're
no, no. It's fine. You can go ahead. Just want to say
no, no,
that
no, no.
I like to see how non-SEO users are interacting with search and LLMs. So I've seen that for like my friends when I find something, they like AI overviews for specific things.
Mhm,
Like for example, we were on holiday with one of my friends and we wanted to buy fish, and he just wrote like what is the best place to buy fish
mhm,
near us, and they recommended. I mean, Gemini basically, AI obviously recommended some shops, and then we visited those shops, and I basically asked him, "Are you satisfied with this?" And he said, "Yes, it seems good." So I think that the non-SEO user doesn't dig so
Now you
deep
need
into
to
those
talk to
things.
him and convert him and
yeah.
convince him this is not good for him. Like, don't leave one person happy with this, please. We don't want this to happen. Yeah.
But then he also made a follow-up, like for example, what is the best place regarding reviews? So they kind of augment their queries to get more information. But what I have to say is that I haven't seen like, I don't know when each user prefers AI Obvious or ChatGPT. From most of the times, I see that my friends who use ChatGPT use it for non-live things. Like, for example, they might ask things that they don't have to retrieve information, like a recipe or to get something,
I
like,
do
for
that
example, an
all the time.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah, I do that as well. So I use ChatGPT for deep research a lot when I have to buy something.
Mhm.
But most of the time, I don't know. I use it for non-discovery things. I don't know. I would like to see how the everyday user chooses between each thing and why.
Yeah, I agree with that. I really think that a combination of what Sarah said, a combination of AI of LLMs overall for discovery mode or like some overall information is amazing. Yeah, I'm using a lot of GPT and it's like my daily assistant. But I usually follow up with SERP and with more like in-depth research if I want to really find out about some information there. And as Sarah said, Sarah, I will give you the final word for this episode, and yeah, we can do like a little bit outro at the end. But Sarah, you can like go with the final question so that we can wrap up this episode soon.
Yeah, last point. So I my last newsletter was on the Department of Justice documents, and I went through them, and one of the things I learned is that AI overviews is by design returning lower quality results because it's using fast search, which is like provides a abbreviated it's optimized for fast, like being fast and in a different way than the traditional results. What are your thoughts on this? And do you think they will use the same systems for AI mode or something similar? That's the question.
Yeah.
I basically read this. I basically read your newsletter. That issue, it was very good.
Thank you. Thank you. You're
Yeah.
I found someone. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll give you a shout out in the next one.
Thanks. I think I even liked that post. Anyway, yeah, for this system, I don't know. I mean, when AI, like it was calling search generated experience, when it first SGE, when it first was about to be launched, I was seeing that it was very slow, and many SEOs were saying that that's very slow for the average user to have the to wait for it, so they would just go pass through it. So I guess they use a faster system to kind of counter a balance that the SGE was taking some seconds to load. But I believe because Google is Google, I hugely believe that they will improve the systems. Like we will see better results, and I basically think that Google wants to be an AI first answer engine. Like they want to give everything super fast and they just want to give the information. So I think it will be improved, I guess.
Yeah, that's amazing points. Like from both of you, like again, I have like that unfortunate role that I'm always like giving my opinion the last, so I don't have like much more to add.
Sorry,
But
Nick, I'm
regarding
really
like
sorry. It was not intended, but I'm so sorry about
No,
this.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I really think that regarding the system, I really think that point of AI overview, and I really think the point of AI mode will be the fastest possible results. Always like I almost like 100% convinced in that. But regarding the upgrades of it, upgrades of the system, upgrades of the algorithms, if we can call those like that, for AI mode and everything there, it will be improved for sure. And hey, we have like numerous updates per year from the Google regarding the SERP. I expect the same treatment for AI mode and AI overuse, and I really think that they can be a real powerhouse. But it's just like the point that we all get used to it, and at the end of the day, it's the point that we all know how to be present there. So yeah, regarding the outro, Antonis, thanks once again for joining us today. I hope it was like your pleasure as us as our
It was
because
great.
like amazing.
Thank you for
Thank you.
having me. Thank you
Yeah,
for having me, guys.
Being here
uh,
today, I genuinely
yeah.
enjoyed talking to you and Nick, of course. And I'll share this shortly once it's processed on Zoom, and you can run with it. And I'll also upload it later today on YouTube.